This woman was gifted this eerie, lifelike doll, and when she took it out the box, the doll did something that made her freak out.
Oh my God, I swear to God, this thing just looked at me. Oh my.
For a second, the doll's eyes appear to look right at her, and what makes this even more disturbing is that the doll's eyes are not supposed to be able to move.
For the people who say, oh, just, her eyes are supposed to move. I have those dolls. When you pick them up, their eyes move. Her eyes aren't moving. They ain't moving unless she just blinked right there. I don't fucking know. Poking her eyes. Boop. She might get me back for that later, but no, her eyes don't move.
On top of that, she finds out the name of the doll, and it just makes it worse.
Certificate of authenticity for her, and you're not gonna freaking believe the name on this thing. Are you shitting me?
This woman was—
Welcome back, Duality 9Xers. Wherever you are, whatever you guys are. And it makes no difference because we're all here for the same thing, and we're here to watch an exciting lineup of videos that I can't wait to get in with you guys. Before we get started, I'm going to ask for a huge favor. If you guys like and hear what you see, please smash the like, subscribe, and comment. It definitely helps us. It helps us continuing with our efforts of building, this grassroots type of community. And, you guys may not know it on your end, but every time you like, subscribe, and comment, it goes a long way with the YouTube algorithm. So please, if you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe. It really helps us out. So I can't wait to get into this with you guys. We've got a great lineup of videos, as I mentioned. And stay tuned, because tomorrow we've got a very exciting presentation. We've got a really cool video that I can't wait to share with you guys. So wait till the end of this video, and I'm going to give you guys a little teaser as to the content that we're going to provide for the following program, or for the following episode that we're going to air tomorrow. So if you guys are ready, strap in, get excited, because it's about to get heavy, folks. So without further ado, let's go.
Is it always the low-quality videos? This man started live streaming to show exactly where he saw a strange creature in his backyard the other day. Once he found the spot, he captured something that I just can't explain. Take a look.
Show y'all that the picture came from in the back of my yard. Let me see if I can flip this around. That's the exact motherfucking spot now.
I can't see anything.
That's my backyard. I'm gonna zoom it in a little piece.
Alright, he's zooming in.
This is the exact spot that I just...
Oh, right there.
Hold on.
That is weird.
What in the going on?
Huh, that video kind of got cut short. There was clearly something there, and it was running, right? It didn't look like a human. But, I mean, what's interesting is this guy's just casually, he's got a smoke in his hand, he's got a dart, and he's just lighting it up, and he's live streaming at the same time. That was kind of peculiar.
Security guard was confused when he saw a woman standing in front of the door on camera. But later, when he went to check it out, he realized something, and it gave me goosebumps.
Yo hace años que trabajo de noche, nunca vi algo como esto. Estoy todos los días sentado ahí, 12 horas.
Judging by his language.
Esto es muy loco. Miren. No se ve nada. No se ve nada. ¿La ven? ¿Llegan a ver?
Oh, yeah,
Hay una
you can see
mujer
it right
en la
look
puerta
in the glass,
del
guys. Look in the
edificio.
door.
Una mujer al lado del portero eléctrico.
So somebody's
Ahora,
out there.
vamos a ver. No hay nada. ¿Ven ahí? No hay nada. No hay nada. Pero cuando yo veo las cámaras, me aparece la mujer por las cámaras.
This security guard was
There's clearly somebody there in the video. You could totally see it. But it's weird because when they go up, there's nobody there.
This woman was gifted this eerie, lifelike doll, and when she took it out the box, the doll did something that made her freak out.
Wow. How much lifelike?
Oh my God, I swear to God, this thing just looked at me. Oh my.
For a second, the doll's eyes appear to look right at her, and what makes this even more disturbing is that the doll's eyes are not supposed to be able to move.
For the people who
Wow.
say, oh, just, her eyes are supposed to move. I have those dolls. When you
Oh,
pick them up,
man.
their eyes move. Her eyes aren't moving. They ain't moving unless she just blinked right there. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Poking her eyes. Boop.
That was weird, guys.
She might get me back for that later, but no, her eyes don't move.
On top of that, she finds out the name of the doll, and it just makes it worse.
Certificate of authenticity for her, and you're not gonna freaking believe the name on this thing. Are you shitting me?
This woman was
Oh, man. When you get a doll and it has that name, Annabelle, oh my. You might want to think twice about holding on to that doll.
sleeping when something tried to break into her room. She woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of an animal growling outside her window.
Is that coming?
She said that since she was pregnant with her son, this thing would harass her every night. She thinks it's an aswang, a creature from Filipino folklore that targets pregnant women. But what do you think it is? This woman was
You gotta be kidding me, guys. There's all that ruckus, okay? All that racket going on outside around her. And she's just... And she's... So many questions. That's an interesting... A ghost-like or creature in the Philippines, I guess. That's interesting.
Ooh, okay. See,
some guys in the
no,
school,
no.
and this balloon seems to be following him, going towards him. That's it. That's creepy.
It just follows me no
Yeah.
matter what. Ooh! No, I can't.
Did you see that, guys? Did you see that? Wow. Something ran in the back. If you just go back and you look, as the balloon's coming towards this guy, in the background at the end of the hall, somebody ran right across.
not gonna believe what he found.
I don't know if I should say anything just yet, but look.
Oh, there's a... Oh, wow. Okay. This guy's brave. And there's a person in there. Of course there is. Of course there is. Is that person like frozen or... Oh, that's not real. Is it? Jeez, no, that can't be real.
I'm just kidding. It's not real. Working on a location, but this actually had me fooled for a second. It looks so hyper realistic.
That's scary though.
I figured you guys would like this, but yeah.
That's...
Wish me luck.
You're not
Yeah, that's pretty scary, man. I don't care, you know, in movie houses or whatever, you get props like that. That's pretty scary stuff. It doesn't matter if it's movie houses, opera houses, whatever. If there's props anywhere, okay, like drama departments, stage departments, and you got these props and it looks scary like that, I don't want to be there. And I know even if I know that it's not real, that's just something, I don't know, I just don't want to be close to. Not too long ago, I had a video about this guy, this ghost hunter, who actually went in this. It was a building, but in the bottom, in the basement, it was abandoned theater. It was an old theater from a long time back, and so he's going through this because I guess there was a lot of complaints of people that were living in the building. They had their private residences. We're talking about hearing creepy things and scary noises and things that kind of go bump in the night. So as a ghost hunter, he started looking around, poking his nose where it shouldn't be, and yeah, he was in for a scare of his life. So I think maybe what I'll do is I'll try to put the link to that video so you guys can check it out. Pretty interesting stuff, guys. Anyhow, let's move on.
This woman was taking pictures of this house for her job, and it didn't end well.
And this guy was following me around like the whole time, which isn't unusual, but he was a little bit strange. I also noticed they have like 3 locks on the door, and then down here they have locks. They have a camera, and it's facing this door. A roommate comes out of this door, and he asks them if he should lock the door and kidnap me. And I said, immediately, people know where I am. And then he laughed and said, no one would ever hear from you again. Bro, I did not even finish this house. I immediately left. I was like, no.
After uploading the video, she seemed to disappear from her TikTok. Yet a year later, she made an update saying that the cops were called and that everything was dealt with. But she never actually said what happened, which makes me wonder what was going on in that house.
Wow. Yeah. Nope. Moving on.
Experiments they have been doing with the paranormal entity in their basement. There are footsteps, then the balloon is hit by an unseen force.
Why are you guys playing
In a
around
second
with the
video,
paranormal, guys?
more footsteps are followed by the owner's hand being slapped.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Finally, he tries one more experiment. Watch what happens.
Wow.
Bak şu yarıktan var ya aşağıyı görebiliyorum ben.
Buralar tehlikeli olmaya başladı. Hadi gidelim.
Bak şurada.
Uyarı bak.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Taş geliyor taş. Taş atıyor biri.
Hocam bu ne ya? Ana. Oğlum.
O ne?
Hocam. Vallahi içeride bir şey var. Var ya burada bir şey sıkışmış bak.
I don't know if this is like
Taşın içinde bir şey var.
in the Middle East somewhere, in Turkey.
Arkadaşlar gördünüz mü?
So we're looking at like a space between the rocks.
Taşın içinde bir şey var.
There's something that caught these guys' attention. Oh, look at that. Did you guys see that? There's a face, an image in the rock, in the crevice of the rock. Wow.
This security guard saw something horrifying. While working alone one night, this guy saw and felt something that he couldn't explain. He says that he saw it move by the store entrance, and at 3:20 a.m., he tried to catch it on camera, but he couldn't at first. Then, just as he was about to give up, he saw this.
Clarito, clarito. Ya lo vi otra vez. A ver si se alcanza a ver. No, me da miedo ir. A eso que se mira ahí. Eso negro que se ve ahí.
Oh yeah, right there in the back, buddy.
Ya se
right
movió.
behind you.
¡Oh! Está caminando, de hecho está que no manches. No manches. Y se sigue moviendo. Se sigue moviendo. Es una persona, claro está que miren. Miren. No. Vámonos.
This security
He's like, I'm out of here, let's go. He's probably one of the smarter ones that we actually filmed, or that actually was on one of these videos. Okay.
This security guard was confused because nobody told him about the new employee. But later, when a coworker reviewed the footage, they realized something, and it gave me goosebumps.
Okay, watch this, y'all. This man, he called his boss asking him, why didn't y'all tell me they had a new employee, right? He constantly looking back, right? He talking to somebody, right? Just watch, this is creepy. Look, having a whole conversation with somebody, right? Saying that somebody came and he dapping that person off and everything. Now see, look, y'all see when he dapped him off, look what happened. He dapped him off, you see that shadow? And then the shadow goes over here and he pulling the chair out for him. He swore to God he sat there and had a whole conversation with this person. He moved over talking to him and everything. Y'all better protect yourselves.
I want you to imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning, check CNN, and see that dozens of alien spacecraft are hovering above cities all over the world. What happens next? The first thing that we need to figure out is, why are they here? Maybe they came here to help us, maybe they just came here to say hi, or maybe they came here to harvest us or our resources. Governments all over the world would have to draw up emergency war cabinets, trying to create a plan that reduces as many civilian casualties as possible. Linguistic and artificial intelligence experts would be brought in to try and establish a line of communication with the invaders, while cities would begin a massive evacuation process, urging residents to flee to more remote areas or hidden bunkers. But the problem with a global invasion is that different countries might have different responses. One country might try to establish a peaceful form of communication with our new neighbors, while another decides to launch the full scale of their arsenal at them, making our entire species look hostile. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't really matter, because if aliens had the technology to get here in the first place, their level of technology would be so far ahead of ours that it would be comparable to the full scale of the US military going up against a couple of cavemen. I want you to imagine this.
Facts, Part 94. A woman from Edinburgh, Scotland thought that her frequent nosebleeds were caused by a motorcycle accident. But one day she felt something poking out of her nose while she was taking a shower, and she found the culprit. A 3-inch long leech had been living in her nostril for more than a month. Pool drains are literally powerful enough to suck your organs right out of your body, and it's one of the grisliest ways in which people have died. Starting in the 16th century, the Catholic Church used to castrate young Italian boys to preserve their high-pitched singing voices. Alessandro Moreschi, aka the Last Castrato, sang until his death in 1921.
It's a haunted museum when this happened.
Well, that's Post Malone.
host explains on the Joe Rogan podcast that just before this moment, Zach had removed the glass casing from the Dybbuk box.
It was a sick-ass idea to put the ashes of a lady who died while she was possessed on top. Whoa. He's in a car accident. A house got robbed. I had bite marks on my arm. He hit the wall like I've never seen someone in fear so hard.
Post Malone believes Zach may have inadvertently cursed him. What do you believe?
Alright, I was just packing up, hiking up for the night, ran into this. Gonna be checking it out. Looks like a little bit of
a door.
Protected porch and another door in the cliff. Right there. Oh, we're gonna be checking that out. Join us. Alright, I was just packing up, hiking up for the night, ran into this.
Yeah,
gonna
that
be
looks
checking
like a door
it.
for sure. And you know, you guys, like, I mean, who knows, right? Could be like these giants that once lived or roamed the earth, or maybe they're just man-made bunkers, right? What better place to have a bunker than like inside of a mountain, right? Or on the base of a mountain underneath, underground. And maybe the best way to get through is to the place that, something like that, like an entrance.
Video I shared 3 days ago. I'll put the link in the description. In the first video, this guy found a hidden door in one of his houses. When he opened it, he was met with a brick wall. He made a hole in it to look through and caught a figure on camera.
Jesus Christ.
People wanted an update, so he came back, but this time he goes inside and explores. Pay attention to the end. It looks like he caught something else on camera, but I don't think he realizes it.
I'm sure this is a good idea. What's that? It's chilly. I can't see.
This is
in 2022. Archaeologists researching the ancient springs in Tuscany made an incredible discovery. The ancient thermal baths here are believed to have been built by the Etruscans in the 2nd century BC. This ancient sanctuary was closed in the 5th century AD, and the pools were sealed with heavy stone pillars. When archaeologists removed them, what they found shocked everybody. Underneath the stones, and still laying in the highly dense mineral waters, were 24 beautifully preserved bronze statues. The statues had laid there, soaked in the highly dense mineral waters for centuries, which helped to preserve them until this day. Alongside the bronze statues, the archaeologists also discovered an incredible 6,000 ancient gold, silver, and bronze coins in what is said to be one of the most important discoveries since the Riace bronzes, which you can watch by clicking related video.
Just going through the area, and all of a sudden you see this hand sticking out of the ground, and turns out to be like a huge bronze statue. That would be absolutely incredible. Okay.
Jesus. One night I was taking a dump, and you have to swim maybe 10, 15 feet. It's not that far. And there's what we call the gazebo, which is just a little dome that has air inside. Now you're out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, like with no tank, and you're 60 feet down. It's night. You can't see a thing. You're alone in the ocean. You swim to that, you pop in, and then you got air, just some valves, you let in some fresh air, and you just let it rip. And then you finish, and you put your mask back on. Took a big breath, and I went down, and I opened my eyes in my mask in the darkness with my flashlight, and I saw, like right in front of me, this huge eyeball, like about the size of a saucer, staring, unblinking right at me. And I freaked out. Just tore off for the moon pool, and I jumped in there. I surfaced. I'm screaming, and my crew come running, thinking I've been bit by a shark or something. And I'm like, giant fish! It was a Goliath grouper.
Oh, they're enormous.
Size of a cow.
Yeah, those things could literally eat a person.
Yeah. I lived for 2 weeks.
Diver off the coast of Sardinia spotted something metallic on the seabed, which led to a shocking ancient discovery. Italy's Ministry of Undersea Archaeology Department immediately sent divers described as an art protection squad to investigate, who found an ancient 4th century shipwreck with over 30,000 Roman coins. On an overcast morning in February 2015, Zvika Feyer was scuba diving off the ancient Israeli port town of Caesarea when he saw a glimmer on the sand. A violent storm the previous night had battered Israel's west coast, stirring up the ocean floor and changing the underwater topography. As he brushed the sand aside, he found gold coin after gold coin in an astonishing discovery. It turned out to be a hoard of more than 2,000 gold coins dating back over 1,000 years. And if you thought that was cool, this ship in 1985 brought back over $500 million in treasure after an engineer discovered a Spanish shipwreck. Subscribe and I'll tell you all about it.
That is crazy, guys. Wow.
Video I shared 3 days ago. I'll put the link in the description. In the first video, this guy found a hidden door in one of his houses. When he opened it, he was met with a brick wall. He made a hole in it to look through and caught a figure on camera. People wanted an update, so he came back, but this time he goes inside and explores. Pay attention to the end. It looks like he caught something else on camera, but I don't think he realizes it.
I'm not sure this is a good idea. What's there? It's chilly.
Oh, there's somebody behind the door.
This is...
Wow.
The ground, there's nothing you can do.
This video shows the after effect of something horrible that recently happened in Japan that not a lot of people are talking about. One of you guys tagged me in this video that was recorded in Japan in early January, located on their western peninsula, near Noto. Partway through this video, this brick sidewalk starts to raise and lift itself up, and off to the left you can see a massive crack developing in the road. This crack only gets larger, and at this point there's really not much the people that are recording can do other than wait and see what happens. Even though that original video was jarring, this is still nothing compared to the full magnitude 7.6 earthquake that hit this peninsula. This earthquake absolutely decimated certain areas, taking the lives of around 55 people, with many more missing. This video right here shows more likely a secondary shockwave that stemmed off of the original location where the earthquake did occur.
If this is happening...
That's interesting.
In Kentucky in 1876, it rained meat chunks. The Kentucky meat shower lasted a few minutes, and here is a sample from it. A CT scan of this Buddha statue revealed it actually had a monk inside it. In 1920, these porcelain screaming baby dolls made by German doll maker Kessner were all the rage. And 11,000 years ago, this creepy face at Karahantepe in Turkey was too. This scary-looking thing is late Victorian art pottery known as Martinware, depicting a crab with a human face. A dummy head from the early 1900s used to demonstrate static electricity. A painting of this priest dude getting a little bitty from the Virgin Mary, and finally a whistle made from a rat's paw and carved bone. It was used to dispel diseased rodents during a rat plague in the early 19th century. Here...
That's definitely strange.
Archaeologists say it's a coincidence, but the ancient handbag, as it is now known, has quickly become a historical enigma, baffling scholars around the world. The mainstream narrative says that each ancient civilization developed independently, with little to no connection with each other. Yet the ancient handbag symbol has now been discovered in almost all ancient cultures. It first appears at Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, which dates back to 11,600 years ago. It also shows up in Mesopotamia, ancient Greece, ancient Egypt, and the Balkans. But strangely, despite the vast Atlantic Ocean and over 7,000 miles between them, the ancient handbag symbol appears in the Mesoamerican cultures, such as the Toltec, the Maya, and even the Olmec. Some people believe that this symbol represents a transference or handing down of ancient knowledge. Some even believe this could be a symbolic representation of some form of ancient technology. Archaeologists...
You know, I wonder, were those handbags used kind of like how they're used today? Did they carry, Did people put items in there so that they could walk around? I mean, look at that. The way that bag is. So detailed.
It's man versus coyote. And this guy isn't about to lose his tussle with the wild animal. Timothy Snipe was out in his yard in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, with his pint-sized chihuahua named Roxy.
Oh, wow.
Suddenly, Roxy noticed the coyote and ran right for it. Despite wearing a bathrobe and slippers, he knew that unless he fought off the animal, Roxy was a goner. The animal bites back, biting Snipes multiple times. So he grabs the coyote by the tail. Snipes carries him over to a garbage bin and drops him inside like trash. Animal control showed up to take the coyote away.
Wow,
Snipe is taking no chances. From now on, Roxy will be wearing this spiky harness that will make any coyote think twice before trying to chomp down on this feisty little gal.
Nobody knows who built it, but we do know that this underground city could protect up to 20,000 people. But from what? Mysteriously, the city could be closed with these 1,000-pound stone doors, which can only be opened and leveraged from the inside. The city reaches deep underground, with several levels stretching for miles. It has hundreds of tunnels and chambers, including churches, schools, and food storage facilities. If needed, the ancient people could shelter underground for months, possibly even years. The city had a sophisticated ventilation system, with ventilation shafts bringing fresh air deep into the underground levels. This ancient place must have taken many years to build. But what's really strange is that the whole city was created with only chisels and hammers. Nobody knows.
Wow.
Oh, I got something for you guys.
In regards to
UFOs. Listen, it was a high-level intelligence guy that worked for the Pentagon.
Okay.
It's called the Arrow. He was a whistleblower. So he got this documentation and was told by people above him that there is a secret program within the military that have been collecting crashed UFOs, UAPs for decades now. And when he did this whole interview, he's like, there's different intelligent life. We're for sure not alone.
Oh, wow.
And the White House briefing, one of the journalists said, what do you have to say to that? Or basically, are we alone? And she's like,
I would refer that question to the Department of Defense and let them answer that question for you. Go ahead.
And it's like, why are they hiding it? Like, what do they have to gain from hiding it?
Yeah.
You know? So, I got something for you.
He was dirt biking deep in the woods when he heard this. On his way in, he comes across a strange pile of bones.
Kinda creepy.
Although creeped out, he went deeper in until he was stopped by a fallen tree, and that's when he realized he wasn't alone.
This is where most people would turn around. If you turn around, you never get to see what's on the other side.
Yeah, that's true.
That's where all the gold is waiting over there. Could be missing out what's on the other side. Hello?
Oh, he heard somebody. Somebody was yelling help.
I was out of there.
He was dirt biking deep in the woods.
Ask yourself if we may be living inside of a simulation or maybe a parallel dimension of some sort. Well, Reddit user Superman is Taken was washing her dishes in the dishwasher when all of a sudden one of the glass cups broke. And while trying to put the pieces together, she may have recorded one of the best video evidence that we may be living inside of a simulation. Check this out.
Okay, so riddle me this. This cup broke in the dishwasher. This is the shard we found. Exhibit A. And the way that it is... No, put it in. It's rounded, so it's supposed to go like that, with the lip of the cup on top. And that's the way that it would fit, but that's the inverted part. How do you make it fit? It doesn't...
How is that even possible?
It doesn't fit. We're going viral, baby. The question is, does broken glass invert in the dishwasher?
Have you ever asked yourself if...
Wow.
One of the moons of Mars is going to be completely destroyed, and the thing that's going to do it is Mars itself. Mars has two really small moons, Phobos and Deimos. The larger of the two, Phobos, is only about 11 kilometers in diameter, and it orbits the planet extremely closely, only about 6,000 kilometers above the surface. It orbits around Mars 3 times a day and is slowly sinking towards the planet at a rate of about 2 centimeters per year. But Phobos won't just eventually get pulled down into the planet. No. Mars has worse plans for its tiny moon. The tidal forces inflicted on Phobos from Mars will eventually rip it apart completely. This will give Mars rings for a short period of time before the crumbled remains of Phobos fall down onto the Martian surface. We can already see evidence of this stretching and cracks on the surface of Phobos, as you can see in this photo. Astronomers believe that Phobos only has about 50 million years left before Mars completely destroys it. One of the
50 million
Morbid
years left.
Facts, Part 54. A teen boy injected himself with mercury at least 3 times while trying to convert his bones into metal like Wolverine. He was also intentionally bitten by spiders multiple times so that he could become Spider-Man. None of his efforts were successful. In 1847, a doctor performed an amputation so fast that he accidentally amputated his assistant's fingers as well. Both the patient and assistant died from sepsis, while a spectator apparently died from shock. This resulted in the only known procedure with a 300% mortality rate. When a woman with breast implants is cremated, the silicone implants will melt into a goo. It drifts to the bottom of the furnace and must be cleaned up once it is cooled.
So right after the 3 girls came within 8 to 10 feet of this creature, or being, or entity, whatever you want to call it, about an hour later, there were 2 military guys on patrol, on the lookout for something unusual, what they were told. They didn't say a UFO had crashed. They were on the lookout for something highly unusual. They were about 1.5 blocks to 2 blocks away from where the girls had seen the creature a couple of hours earlier. And this thing runs across the car in front of them. He had slammed his brakes on, and without a moment's hesitation, Marco jumps out of the car and grabs the thing with his bare hands. And he puts it in the back seat, and they drive it to a clinic, and the doctor is like, what the hell is that? Get it out of here. I don't know what, leave. So they went to regional hospital, and then ultimately it went to Humanitas Hospital. And so we have testimony from Military X, drove it from Humanitas Hospital to as a military base, where it spent the night in the truck for 1 night, and then it went from there to SpaceX Campinas. And then it was there, I think, under examination. And then from Campinas, 2 helicopters, according to him, flew to Varginha, Brazil. Then they loaded something on the airplane and then off to the United States, and that's where the case goes cold.
Girl wakes up from 3-year coma and tells doctors what parents did. Laura Van Ren on a school trip with her classmates. She was even going to be with her good friend Whitney Sarek, and the field trip had gone extremely well. But sadly, it was time to go, and so they all piled back into the van when suddenly a driver in another vehicle came out of the blue and hit their van. 5 people passed away. Laura herself was on the cusp of death. Little by little, Laura started to get better. But when she finally came out of her coma, the doctors were stunned when Laura told them she wasn't actually Laura. She was, in fact, Whitney Sarek, who everyone thought had died, and Laura was the one who had passed away. It turned out Laura and Whitney looked very similar, and with all the injuries from the accident, it made it even harder to tell them apart. Whitney was even told details about her own funeral her parents held for her. The tragedy ultimately brought both families closer together, and Whitney made a full recovery.
The Earth may be hit with a solar storm so extreme that it would be harder for us to recover from than the top 10 natural disasters combined. 1859 was the last time that the Earth was hit by a solar superstorm called the Carrington event, and it was so intense that auroras could be seen as far south as Hawaii. Every 11 years, there is a higher amount of sunspots. These spots are caused by a larger concentration of these bands that you see here, which are the sun's magnetic field. And when those bands snap, it produces a solar flare. In 2012, yes, that 2012 where everything was predicted to end, such a solar flare missed us by a mere 9 days. But in 2025, the likelihood of it hitting us is much greater. If it did, it could destroy electrical grids all around the world and render satellites useless. So your cell phone, the internet, and electrical power for things like, electric cars and the majority of the planet's households and cities would cease to work for years to come. In 2025, the Earth may be hit with a solar storm so extreme.
Morbid Facts, Parts 76 through 100. The details revealed in Michael Jackson's autopsy report were nothing short of disturbing. He was almost completely bald and had a number of cosmetic tattoos, including permanent eyeliner and lip liner. He had puncture wounds all over his arms and had nothing but pills in his stomach at the time of death. Michael had also undergone at least 10 nose jobs, leaving him with a left nostril that was almost completely collapsed. A Dutch teenager who was going bungee jumping in Spain died after a horrible misunderstanding. The instructor with poor English said no jump, but she heard it as now jump and ended up jumping straight to her death. In 1987, Kenneth Parks drove 12 miles to his mother-in-law's house and stabbed her to death in the middle of the night. But Kenneth didn't receive any jail time because his lawyer was able to prove that he was sleepwalking the entire time. Most morbid facts, parts 76 through 100.
Of the boneyard in Alaska.
I've heard of it, and it sounds fascinating.
It's an amazing discovery. This guy's a gold miner, and he has this large piece of land in Alaska. They're mining for gold, and they start finding like tusks and bones. And in one area, they found thousands and thousands of woolly mammoth bones and tusks, and they found all these many animals that weren't even supposed to exist in Alaska. One of the things they found recently was bones that were sawed, clearly sawed. Are you aware of the boneyard in Alaska?
I've heard of it, and it sounds fascinating.
So much to see, so much to do, guys. There's a whole world out there waiting to get explored.
Alright guys, when you're in the woods and you see stuff like this, check in the cracks. They leave stuff in here sometimes. Just sometimes. I don't want to reach in there. Here, there's mushrooms. I don't want to reach in there. Hello. There's gotta be something there. I don't know. Yeah, I found cool, like balls and like golf balls and
No. What did we see? What did we miss? Maybe right there, yes. There's like a spirit or an apparition of some kind. Watch again, guys. It's like in white. Oh, they should do like a slow-mo. Right? Yeah.
Alright guys, when you're in the woods and you see stuff like this, check in the car.
It was an empty tank.
To be honest with you guys, I have no clue why you'd want to jump into a tank like this, but this guy was going to get paid for it. This video that I was tagged in shows this man right here on a commercial crabbing boat jumping into this tank of water. Once he jumps in, he immediately swims over to the edge and begs for his crewmates to pull him out of the water, and this is for good reason. What many people mistakenly thought was just a normal tank of water was actually a live well filled to the brim with Dungeness crab. A lot of commercial crab boats will have these live wells for the purpose of keeping crabs alive if you're going to be out on the water for a while. Speaking of Dungeness crabs, they are definitely not the strongest crabs out there. If they pinch you, it's going to hurt, but it's not going to take a finger off, for example, but you still probably wouldn't want to get pinched by one. Their pincers are strong enough to break human skin and cause small lacerations, which is kind of a pain in the butt, especially if it's on your feet, where this guy was jumping in.
Why do people do what they do?
A man was out in a park one afternoon and decided to test out his new camera. He was seeing how well his new zoom worked and was zooming in and out of different objects. He uploaded a portion of the video to his YouTube channel to see how well the picture quality came out. Comments began to circulate regarding something he captured in the field that he didn't even realize. When he went back to review the footage, he was completely unnerved. What is even more creepy is that he became incredibly sick after he recorded the video, which he believes may be related to what he captured on camera that day.
Oh. Yikes.
As he pans his camera around and zooms in and out, he captures a terrifying figure standing in the field. Many people in the comments section are convinced he captured an angel of death. A man was out in a park one afternoon and decided to test out his...
Something spoke to them through this toy. These teens were at a house party when they started messing with the little girl's toys.
Oh, dude, this thing is possessed, man. This thing is possessed. That's good to know. Am I a girl? Oh, yeah, so it knows. Dude, it knows.
Throw that shit out.
Then, everything gets weirder when they find this creepy drawing.
Weird.
Yeah, dude.
This will actually tell.
Okay. Spirit, are you with us in this room?
Like 2 fingers on it or something.
Oh, no! Dude! Oh my gosh, it's so creepy.
Whoa.
All right, well let's get real crazy. Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
Something
later,
spoke to
guys.
them through this toy. These teens were at a house party when they started
It's not a big deal.
These 2 kids told their dad that they found a friend in the woods. This is their new friend.
It's a watermelon-headed creature. It's a type of cryptid, and it's seeding out right now. Their head dries out like a gourd, falls off, and they grow a new one. It's nothing to worry about or be afraid of.
Oh, wow.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's watermelon.
It's a watermelon head creature. Of course, right?
It's not a big deal.
These 2 kids told their dad that they found a friend in the woods.
Did you know that one of the most credible paranormal events to have ever happened is one that virtually no Westerners are even aware of?
Wow.
This farmer was going to bed at night, and he would lay his head down on the pillow, and then when he would wake up, he would be in other places that were just totally inexplicable. But that's only the beginning of the story. In these places where he wakes up, he has interactions with people that basically you could verify that he really did have those interactions, he really did see those things, he really did hear those things. But it was impossible for him to be in those places in the first place. And it was impossible for him to be talking to those people and interacting with those things. It's just a whole series of just totally unexplainable phenomena. And so if you want to hear one of the most, if not the most famous UFO stories that likely you've never heard of if you're from the West, go ahead and click right here. Did you know that one of
fallen angel statue discovered in Russia?
What?
This is the creepiest thing I've seen in a good minute. There's these dudes, Russian dudes, in Serbia, Siberia. They work in a gravel quarry or something. They were just digging and they found this ginormous statue of this crazy, evil-looking angel with its like hood down, but like its eyes and its these giant wingspan things, and it's like holding a shield, and it was kneeling. And these dudes standing up beside this statue, their heads didn't even go past the statue's head, and it was kneeling down.
Ew.
And it looks, the detail on it is like exquisite. Like it looks like a angel or man thing that was like frozen in time, like it like fell in a concrete bath or something. What does that mean?
Oh.
In January 2014, Brucho Syndicate captured a very strange phenomenon in the middle of a frozen pond somewhere in Europe. He was walking his dog, and it was a very cold day, and he spotted this bizarre water hole in the middle of a frozen pond, and inside of it, well, this is what he captured on camera. Check this out.
What are we looking at? Oh. What is that? What did we just see? Hold on. It's like a living, breathing organism in the water, almost like it's like a mouth-like, or it's like making these weird contraction-like type of movements. What the?
On January 2014, Brucho Syndicate captured a very strange phenomenon.
It has a lot of weird things, huh? Oh wow, this is from somebody's camera?
Holy moly.
Or telescope,
Jeez.
camera. Wow,
Look
that's
at that.
incredible, guys.
Oh my goodness, that's beautiful.
That is something else, guys. So this guy has a device that's allowing him to be able to zoom in on a crater of a moon. Just imagine what the scientists have access
Holy
to.
moly. Jeez. Look at that.
This is worth watching a second time.
Terrifying case was documented by a mother who noticed that her young son seemed to be talking more and more to an imaginary friend. One day the mother asked her son who he was talking to, and he responded, "The woman with the long hair."
Wow. It's just crazy, guys. That is just crazy. Alright, guys. That's all the time that we have today. That was absolutely crazy. So, good lineup of videos. Thank you so much for joining us. Listen, if you guys like and hear what you see, please smash the like and subscribe. Comment. It definitely helps with the algorithm. It helps us grow our channel. And look, I'd love to hear your comments. I love reading them. I try to get, I try to reply to as many as I can. And if there's any particular videos out there that you want me to talk about, to showcase, let me know and I'll do my best. So, until the next time, and in the meantime and in between time, that's it. That's another one. And I look forward to our next adventure, guys. Don't do anything crazier to yourself. Don't do anything crazy to yourself. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.
Called The Witching Hour. Features a family living in a house in a small town outside of Socorro, New Mexico. This house is in the middle of nowhere. There are no houses or even paved streets anywhere around it. Kids in the video are clearly not actors. Most of the reporting of the strange occurrences in this home come from the children, which in my opinion is the creepiest part about this. On separate occasions, they each individually claimed to have been visited by a quote, bad guy in the middle of the night. Each child claimed that during the night, a coyote man would come to the little girl's window and speak to them. This sounds like a classic case of a skinwalker. I'm personally obsessed with this story, and I happen to know that there's a lot more to this story than we were told in this original video. How do I know that? Because I was one of those people. I've just uploaded another one of these videos yesterday, telling another true story from the eyes of my sister-in-law. This is f***ing freaky. 2 years ago, a video was uploaded to YouTube called The Witching Hour. It features a family living in a house.
Hey guys, and welcome to Duality 9X. Wherever you are, whatever you are, I'm Sheeraz. We're all Sheeraz.